Ruben Amorim has been sacked by Manchester United. Yes, you heard that right. He has been sacked. United are now going to look for a new manager, possibly. I just finished the Red Army Rampart with the lads reviewing the Leeds game. And boy, we just found out the news of the sacking like the next day. We literally spoke about the sacking on the show, but we didn't get official confirmation until now. Obviously, Ruben Amorim did speak out against the board. He did say that the board was a bit. He kind of told them they were incompetent in a direct way, in an indirect way. To be honest with you, he kind of told them that he was that they weren't going to help. They weren't going to help him with succeed at United. So he called out their incompetence indirectly. And look, at the end of the day, he's been sacked. He's been, you know, he's been told that he's been relieved from the job. It was coming. It was coming. It looked like he was out. It looked like he was done. It looked like he was done. It looked like he was finished. It didn't look like he wanted to be at United no more. It looked like he wanted to be. It looked like he was done. Yeah, exactly. Augustia, what's happening, bro? Obviously, just the news that Amram got sacked and then everything. I can't really go live properly, but this is how I can go live. I'm at the beach. I found out the news at the beach. Ruben Amram's been sacked. My phone was actually on Do Not Disturb notifications, and I found out that Amram's been sacked. I'm like, hey, let's go, man. What are you saying, bro?
Brother, Ekevin, AN Sports, the chat. We are free. We are liberated. We are
Hold
exonerated
your
from.
horses, bro. Darren Fletcher is gonna play his sons as an interim manager. Let's not get too gassed yet.
Oh, no, 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 no. Dude, I am not gassed. I'm not saying sacking Amarin will win us every single trophy. Far from it. We are far away from the summit, but this was one of many actions needed. And as a United fan, I must say, watching Ruben Amorim going into every single match, I had zero, nada, nothing, no
Yeah,
confidence of us having
same.
any winning standards, of us having any consistent, reliable winning outcome. So, whatever it is, yes, the manager is a symptom,
Augustia.
not the root of the problem, but this was a much needed symptom we needed to subside and solve. So I'm very happy myself.
Augustia,
And
bro. Last time I was on holiday, right? Last
yeah,
time I came on holiday, United had just won their third game in a row. We had just won our third game in a row. We beat Brighton, beat Liverpool, beat Sunderland, and now the manager's been sacked. First game after January, after New Year, he's been sacked. He's gone. So what
yep.
do we do now? We're gonna go hire a new manager? Are we gonna leave Darren Fletcher to the end of the season? What are we gonna do? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I mean, this obviously came out of the blue. I don't think this was anticipating heading into this weekend. I don't know. I think it stems down to what is the priorities and purpose of this football club. Are we actually seriously going to become a football club? Are we going to try and win trophies? Are we going to trust the process? Are we going for short term success, building something in the long term? It really depends. But Sir Jim Radcliffe, whoever it is, whoever's in charge on a shareholder level, on a footballing level, has to ask themselves the question, what is our purpose in the short term and the long term, and who is the right man to fulfill that vision? That's it. And we can't talk about names. We have to talk about purpose first. That's how I see it.
Fair enough. Apologies about that. A plane just flew over. But
Is that
yeah, I
Ruben
mean, look,
Amorim coming on vacation? I can, is he joining you?
that's probably Amram's jet flying out of Manchester or something.
Hell
But
yeah.
but look, at the end of the day, right? All we can do now is just hope that for the rest of the season, the club gets stabilized. A manager comes in, plays the right tactics, plays the right system, and everything. Because from what I've been seeing, bro, this manager clearly doesn't have the cojones to manage this football club. He doesn't have He doesn't have the philosophy. He doesn't have the style of play. Every single game I've been watching him, bro, he's just been he's going to this three at the back nonsense, and we're dropping points, silly points against Wolves. Should have beaten Leeds last night with the missed chances and everything, So yeah, man, it's just consistent crap and just consistent dropping shitty points
Mhm.
against shitty sides, and that's not United, bro. And what happened last season? He should have been sacked for that alone. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. He should have been sacked for that alone. Finishing 15th and losing a European final to Spurs is a disgrace, and that's not what my club is built on. My football club is built on winning, and if we finish 15th, United finish 15th, that already taints our legacy in the Premier League, kinda, because, bro, we're not 15th place football club. We're
Preach.
Manchester United. We've won 13 of these league titles since the
Yes.
Premier League has been introduced. We've won 13 of the league titles. Yeah, and I literally just got on holiday today, and I'm gassed now, bro. Because this news is just I'm finally happy that he's gone. He's gone because, bro, I'll just keep it real, right? This guy he's been deserving the sack for some time now. Let's just be honest. He's deserved the sack for some time now, and we can't just keep hiding the problems at United. We have to expose the problems, and the problems are now finally getting exposed. Yesterday, Ruben Amorim. I don't know if you heard after the game. Ruben
Hmm.
Amorim called out the
Who
board.
did? Yeah.
Indirectly called out the board. He indirectly called out the owners. Called out their incompetence indirectly, and that's what got him sacked. Really, it's not really his performances. It's
Yeah.
more the press conference yesterday got him sacked because he he on the other hand, look, cool, United are not in the worst position ever, but still, like, I think it just goes to show that a lot of what's going on behind the scenes is down to what Ineos has been doing, because Ineos are also not on board with Amorim. Ineos are not on board with each other. You can clearly see the differences between Jason Wilcox, Ruben Amorim, Omar Barada, and if you sack Ruben Amorim, Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, all of these guys have to go as well, because you can't keep what do you call it, the problems of the football club here. If you've made bad decisions with the manager, the people who have made bad decisions with him have to go as well. You can't you can't succeed if the board is not going to align with you. So this is the biggest issue I have at my football club right now. If you don't align with the board, if you don't align with the owners, you're not going anywhere, and that's my biggest issue. But what else do you have to say on that?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you. You're right, and I think that that hits the nail on the head, right? We're sacking a manager not because of the reason he should be sacked,
Yeah.
which is these preposterous and these pathetic performances, these performances that are indefensible to the identity of Man United. We are the biggest club in England. We may not
Yes.
be the best club
Facts.
historically, but we are the biggest club in England. And with the
Facts.
revenue we generate, with the history we have, anything other than victory is nothing short of a disgrace. I'm
Failure.
sorry. You
No,
can
you're
say I'm
right.
being exaggerative, but that's a fact. And as you said, we were closer. This is the statement I've been saying for a long time. We have been closer to the drop
Drop
zone
zone than the
than the
top zone.
top zone. And if a
100%.
manager is ever like that, they should be sacked here.
100%
Period.
agree.
I'm sorry.
100% agree.
There is not much context that can justify the unjustifiable. So coming back to this, Ruben Amorim should have probably been sacked for his performances, but then we backed him in the summer. We gave him a war chest of signings, and I get it. There was a dispute of transfer policy as well, but he
Yeah.
was backed more than Jose was. He was backed more than Van Gaal was. That's just a
Yeah.
fact, right? So then you back him, then you have to give him a couple of international breaks. Get the squad to acclimate,
Yes.
pursue a style of play.
We
That
gave him
didn't
three
work.
international breaks.
Yeah, that didn't work. And even he had to adapt his style of play a couple times as well to do something that he is unfamiliar with. So
Yeah.
eventually Amram should have gone. And even just that, who's the best player at Man United, Ekavin? Bruno, right? I mean, again,
This
it's not
season, yeah. This season, Bruno and Lamens have been our best players.
but take a look at Bruno. Bruno doesn't even suit Amram's style of play, does he? Does he get best exploited in an Amorim system? No, that's not Bruno's best role or Bruno's best position. So that's also just another case in point of this manager, his identity and his mentality are not really aligning with not just the winning style of the football club, but the pieces that the team already has. So Amorim
Facts.
had to go from a performance standpoint, absolutely, no doubt about that. But at the same time, yeah, it is concerning that he is being sacked more over a power struggle rather than a being a winning football club. So yeah, I agree with you guys. I agree with Johnny Hill in the chat. I think nuance is needed. Ruben Amorim, of course, he wasn't good enough, but this doesn't mean, as Kevin you
Oh,
pointed out,
Ineos are fucking shit. Let's just
yeah,
be real with you.
yeah,
Ineos are fucking terrible, bro. They're one of the worst owners I've ever seen in my entire life. But you know what
tweet.
it is? It's because they keep doing this cost cutting crap. They keep doing this,
Ugh.
they keep doing this. Bro, they set the wage cap to 200K. I'm sorry, which club wins the Premier League with a 200K wage cap? That's embarrassing. That's literally embarrassing. Which football club, Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, they don't set their wage cap to 200K? How are they supposed to win the Prem if they do that? United have bang average players, and some of them are not even earning what they deserve. But who am I to complain? That's not my money. But my issue is United should not be giving a cost cap of 200K. That should not be the way to win the Premier League. And also, this under 25 policy. Stop focusing on the next 5 years. Why don't you focus on this season and the season after? Because you know what it is. This football club's falling by the year, and the trajectory is only going to get lower from here. So my biggest issue is you're never going to win the Prem with the 200k wage cap, and also you're not going to win the Prem with just under 25 players. Bring some experience in, bring some world class players in, players that are in their prime. Because this for me is just a joke. I don't think this is I don't find this football club on the right trajectory, on the right path. Because all we're doing now is just acting like, worth the standards are probably worse than Coventry's. This is be real. This football club is even worse than Coventry's this
Hey,
season.
don't disrespect Coventry, man.
No, but let's be real.
Yeah,
Wrexham are on the way up as well.
yeah, 100%.
Ryan
But
Reynolds is doing a good job over there, so we have to give him plaudits. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I agree with you guys. It's okay. We've sacked Amorim. Amorim, his place was untenable. What's
Mm.
next? That's the more important question, right? Because you can
Yeah,
remove the problem, but if you don't solve the problem, what does that do?
exactly.
So that's going to be the bigger question. And I don't know, Ekevin, who do you believe the club will go for? Is it too early to ask that question?
I think it's a bit too early because I think they're gonna go for an interim manager now. I think
Okay.
they're probably gonna decide to go for an interim manager, but do I think they go for someone in the summer? Probably, but they're probably gonna go for another yes man. That's the biggest issue. These guys will go for yes men, people who will agree to what everything the owners say, people who agree to what the owners want and the owners will do. So that's the problem. No matter who we hire, no matter who we sack, they're all gonna be yes men. They're not gonna hire Enzo Maresca because you saw what he did with the Chelsea board and he got sacked. If
Hmm.
we if we hire another Enzo Maresca, he's gonna get sacked within the next 5 months because he's not gonna he's not a yes man. He'll just speak out against the board. He'll say what he needs, what he wants. The board will not give it to him. So this is
Yes.
why I'm saying this stinginess from the board is also another issue. That's why I'm saying Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, all these guys that have been there with Amram have to be sacked too. We can't just sack
Agreed.
Amram and not sack the other problems around them. And there's certain players here that still need to go, and
Yeah,
that's my biggest issue. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
This reminds me of before Ineos when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was sacked. Do you remember they
Facts.
sacked Ole, but they kept all of his staff, like the Mickey
Exactly.
Phelan's, for
And then they
example,
kept the
here.
problem as well. They kept the
Yeah,
players who were
Mike.
the issue as well. Some of them.
Exactly. So I think you're right. That is the problem. But again, that just shows you United is run for profit more than
Facts.
actually wanting that prize of
Hundred
winning the
percent.
Premier League, of winning the Champions League. So we will see. But hey, the club, I hope, and I know Ekevin, you agree with me. I hope they prove us wrong, right? I hope we can come here in the summer and be like, we were wrong. The club is focused on the right thing. But hey, all of it's on them. This is now the time when Ineos, if people still believe in them, this is now or never for them. They have to prove
Oh
that
yeah,
they are
yeah,
the
for
right
sure.
people to run this football club. And
I already think they're not though.
they're not just looting it, they're not just exploiting it, but they're actually there to make bank, but also send us to the victory line as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I don't think they're the right people for the job because the problem is these guys, like I already mentioned, they're just cost cutting people. They're just trying to save money. This is Manchester United Football Club we're talking about. We just made 666 million in revenue last year. How are we supposed to cost cut now and use that money to go and spend on big name transfers that will help us get back to the top? It's not going to happen. What we need to do now is we need to stop doing this cost cutting crap. And if we get into the Champions League next season, whoop de doo, go and spend that money wisely on players that can help us get far, because what we need to do is next season onwards and upwards, we have to keep on going. Yes, we're sixth right now. We have to if we get. I think Augusta. I'm not a huge fan of this Champions League bullshit, Champions League qualification stuff. But we have to get into the Champions League. I think it's the only way for us next season to get back to where we need to be.
Yeah.
Because the money that they'll use will be the defining. Oh no, sorry, I'll say this again. The money that could be coming in, it could be the um defining financial status for the managers and the players and the owners going forward. That's what I think. It'll be the defining budget for us next season and see how serious we are going to the Champions League next season. Because the problem is, whenever we qualify for the Champions League,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Whenever we qualify for the Champions League, the owners don't go and spend. It's always when we're in the Europa League, they'll spend and say, "All right, you've got Champions League, you can stay. You've got your shit. You've got your shit done. You know what I mean? You've got your stuff done. You've already achieved what you have to achieve. Trophies don't matter to us. The results don't matter to us. It's just Champions League qualification, solely that, and then you've done your job. This is why they sack managers who don't qualify for Champions League. That's why Arsenal don't sack Arteta because they get Champions League. These owners only care about Champions League qualification because why? It's the
For
money that
sure.
goes into their pockets. That's all they care about. And you know what it is? I wanted to work with Amarim, but the thing is, he was too stubborn for himself. He was too stubborn himself. And now, what are the owners going to go and do? Who are they going to go and hire? I think Darren Fletcher's not the finished article for sure. It has to be someone else. Probably, I wouldn't mind Xavi till the end of the season, like Johnny Hill says in the chat, and all that. If you can go hire Xavi, you can go hire whoever you want. It's all the yes men that will be appointed. It will not be people that want to, go against the board. Because once you do that, you're gone, officially gone. Like Maresca was, Amorim was. I think Amorim found the courage to do that since Maresca spoke out against him.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the currency of life, not just football, but life, is power and profit. And if you go against those two things, especially as Maresca did, as Amarim did, you will be axed. You are nothing. So
Hundred percent.
I agree. And when it comes to Xavi, for example, look, I would, of course, Xavi would be an upgrade. Tactically, he
Mm,
would be an upgrade, and he would be
yeah,
a great source of wisdom for this team that desperately and definitely needs it. But
100%,
if
bro.
Xavi can't do the job with his full autonomy, whereas at Barcelona he had a system to support, his senses and his style of play. If he can't do what he needs to do, he will be the next man out, or
Yeah,
he will just be a yes man. So, and I think it could make it worse. It could do what Amarim was last season, right? Xavi could come in and we could just drop and plummet down the table,
100%.
or if we get someone, we actually give them the authority and the autonomy, and they work with these players to the end of the season. As you said, Akevin, we may even finish in a Champions League place, even a bit higher. Who knows? So, it really what the club needs to do more than pick a person is pick the principle. What
Facts.
is our aim? How long is it until we get back to the top? The aim is win the Premier League, but we need to be able to know all the nuts and bolts, the little details, and the men that are going to fill those details, the men and women, and then decide that. That's exactly what United need to do.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
uh, yeah, is the club that organized? Are they that methodical? We're gonna
Don't
find
think so.
out.
Don't think so, man. Don't think so. And it's just gonna be the same cycle over and over again. And trust me, I will still want managers sacked. Sacking a manager is not the issue. It's about what they do after. You're not gonna
Yes.
you're never gonna clear out the entire mess. You're just gonna clear out one bit of mess, but you're never gonna clear out the entire mess. For example, if a firefighter goes to another person's house and that house is caught on fire, you're gonna you're gonna extinguish all the fire apart from that one small bit that could burn on fire again. It's the same rinse and repeat shit over and over again. This is why I'm trying to say you can't win if you don't clear out the entire crap. And we've not done that for years, hence why United have been in the mud. And will continue to be in the mud because these people will still keep that mess here. And once that mess is gone, United will not get back to where we need to be. Sorry. Just what it is.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you. Yeah, if we don't tackle the roots of this problem, which is a shareholder and a system, like not just a style of play system, but also a structure of how the club is run, if we don't solve those roots, we ain't gonna come back and reign supreme.
No, I agree with you 100%. People in the chat, big up to you guys. Johnny Hill, big up to you, bro. I see your comments, bro. I would have preferred Oliver Glasner, but then again, would he be another yes man? I don't know. Because what I know for sure, like I've said previous times on this live already, the football club will only go for yes men. That's all they care about. People who will suck up to the owners and will literally care about only what the owners do. They will not care about what the managers want to do. It's about the owners and nothing else. So I don't know, man. Someone like it'll be a yes man. So I know for sure. But what do you think, Augusta? I want to know your thoughts.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree with you, Akevin. Unfortunately, yes, while we celebrate Amram going, the next man to come in would likely be a yes man. Yes, someone that doesn't challenge the power dynamics and the profit structure of the club. But the problem is, I think maybe again, Akevin and I, we don't have a PhD in economics. But logically, if you do well on a competitive side, commercially, you can generate even more historic revenue. So I'm just, it puzzles me why the club doesn't go 110% all the way to win these trophies. That to me is a little bit odd. But yeah, they're gonna hire someone that doesn't challenge those two things. And unfortunately, to succeed at Man United, you have to challenge those two facets because the structure of the football club at the moment, like you said, Akavin, with your Oma Baradas, for examples, or your Wilcoxes, for examples, or going back to when Ollie was sacked, they seem to just scapegoat people. Anytime there is a problem, it's scapegoat one person,
The
whether it's
wrong people as well.
whether it's a Paul Pogba to a Jose Mourinho to an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Well, sometimes wrong, sometimes people that do deserve to go, but those people that deserve to go doesn't mean, oh, I go, problem solved. No, they're just one of countless problems. So yeah, as the guys in the chat are saying, and as Ekevin you're saying, unless you revolutionize the club basically and how it's run, and change its objectives, then yeah, we will sign a yes man, or that manager will have to be a yes man to succeed. You're gonna need a miracle worker basically.
Yeah, but are these people miracle workers? Probably not.
No.
So we are in trouble in that sense. But obviously the players are another one because the players are one that they're always down tools when things go south, and when the football club season is going south, these guys will down tools. We've seen it time and time again that United we have the players, the mentality of a size of fucking I don't know Wigan Athletic I think.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing, bro. You know what I mean? It's embarrassing. We'd rather have Wigan players than United players at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but again, I agree with you. But is it the players or is it yes? When the players have to take responsibility. I mean, of course, if you have your own conscience, and even if everyone around you is a sheep, you have to be a wolf in that setup. I agree with you. Like a Ronaldo, for example, be your own man if everyone else is just following their blueprint of orders. But at the same time, I feel like most players you sign, if they don't have that transcendent Ronaldo status, they're going to end up being sheep to the system because it's the environment that creates that, and the objectives of course being profit and power over um winning on the pitch. So I agree with you, Akavin. But yeah, I think one thing I can, if I can add, the silver
Yeah, go
lining
on,
is
please, please,
we
please.
talk about gloom, we talk about doom, it's still Manchester United, Akavin. We still generate a shit ton of money,
That's
right?
the thing.
We still are one of the richest clubs in sports.
Yeah.
And we do still spend a load of money in the transfer window. So even if the objectives are sometimes mismatched, if it doesn't suit what the manager needs, the system, the setup, whatever it is, eventually we aren't dead. We aren't 6 feet under the ground yet. We still can survive. We have what it need. We have what it takes to survive. We have the resources. We just need to unlock them and use them properly. That's really it.
1 second, I gotta say, continue, bro.
But yeah, exactly. So again, it's just who is the one, that change maker that's going to use them properly. And I mean, we need a Jose Mourinho type person, a Jose Mourinho type personality, but also someone that can maximize the most out of the squad. The problem is getting that Jose type personality would be contradictory to the core interests of the board. So yeah, look,
Facts.
we will see, we will see. But I must say,
Sorry.
in the short term, watching United with that new manager bounce, we'll be feeling a little bit better, won't
Yeah,
it?
same. It's like when Ruben Nistelrooy took over last season. The relief I had that Ten Hag got sacked was a bit like I felt good about it. But the problem is, we should not have brought Ruben Amorim in that early. I think we brought him in too quick. We should have waited for a whole at least a season to bring in someone else. Because the thing is, right, when you bring someone else in of Ruben Amorim's caliber, he's an inexperienced manager. And what does an inexperienced manager come in and do? He comes and learns on the job, and that's what
Mhm.
Ruben's been doing the whole time. And the problem is with us is when someone of Ruben's stature, like, he's come in, he's playing a whole new system, a whole new style of play. Nothing's gonna change. Nothing's gonna, you know, the players have to adapt. And the problem with United is we didn't adapt. But the issue with Ruben is he didn't also adapt to other types of environment. He didn't adapt to different styles of play as well. When you come to England, English Premier League, everyone plays a back four, doesn't it? Or at least majority of them do play back four,
Yeah.
right? And that's been the culture of English football. It has to be the back four system in English football, and that's what United have been playing for the last, I'd say, majority of their time. I don't think United have been playing a back three ever in the history. The last time we played a back three, what happened? Van Gaal had to change it up. Why? Because nobody was able to adapt to the style of play and the system of the back three. Hence why we've been in the mud with that back three. What does Van Gaal go and do? Changes it to a back four, and what happens? We go and win games more than we lose. And this is why Amorim, you go and watch the game against Newcastle one bit. The guy went to a back four. What happened? We went and absolutely murdered Newcastle in that first half. Second half, you go and change it up. What happens again? We crumble. Why? It's because these players do not play a back three. You have players suited for a back four, not suited for a back three. He came in and tried his ideas. Fair enough. He tried to be brave about it, but you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It's embarrassing of what happened to the football club. But the standards of this club are in the mud. And thank God at least we sold some of these shitholes that have been in the football club for some time. Rashford, Garnacho, and Anthony, all these guys that have been crap. At least they're now gone. Now we can look to the future and hope that we can sign better players. But the problem is, are we going to do that? Do I trust the football club to do so? Probably not. Probably not. So yeah, man, I'm just lost because do you know what it is with United? We've got so much money in the bank, right? The
Hmm.
football club. One one really big takeover, we could be back within one season. Seriously.
Easily.
Because the amount of money we have to our name, the amount of resources, the amount of money, the resources we have to us, bro. 1 billion, bro. We could, if 1 billion takeover, you clear out the debts, we are back within 1 year. Seriously, that's how big of a football club we are. One whole ownership change could literally change the fortunes of this football club for good. For good. This is why I mean, people talk about 5, 6 years down the line. No, United have all that money in the world to go and spend and rebuild this football club from the ground up. We have
Also,
the resources there, the fan base, we have the market, we have
mhm.
everything to our name. This is why we're massive, only because of that. We're not massive because of modern day success. No, we're massive because of the market, and we are a massive market still. But the problem is, we're not utilizing that to our advantage. Hence, why United have not been winning, and this is why we'll continue to fail. Because once these people leave, the football club will get back to what it used to be again. Otherwise, I wish the football club the very best of luck. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, and I agree. And it's just one more thing. Can I, on the 5, 6 years point,
Please do.
if you plan to win in 5 or 6 years, do you know what you're saying out loud? You're basically saying, I don't want to win for the first 5 or 6 years. That's what you're saying.
Fact.
That is what you're saying through the translation. And of course, people say, oh, sometimes coincidentally you can win. Some teams underperform. So maybe we can win before the 5, 6 years in a row. But
100%.
this mindset of 5, 6 years is a defeatist mindset. I get it. You can have a long term objective as when we need to win the league by 5 or 6 years. I get that. That's fine. I think that's excessive. I don't think you need that much time with the money that United have. But okay, fine. But even then, every
Can you
single
hear me, bro?
yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now.
And no, it's all good. But every single game you play, you have to be aiming to win. If you do this 5, 6 years things, you are throwing the white flag in before the season's even started. What's the point in playing? Roy Keane would, I mean, every great would say, what's the point in playing if you're going to throw the white flag in before the year's even started? So, yeah, look,
Fact.
I agree with you. Big up Godfrey in the chat. Yes, some good news to start the year. I agree.
Big up, bro. Big up, Godfrey. Facts, man. After we played Weeds at Bellend Road, you know what I mean?
But yes, but yeah.
Hold
So
that.
I mean, we will see what happens with the club, and
No, 100%.
again, I'm with you though, Ekev. Unfortunately, I think they will get someone that preserves the power structure and the profit over the
Yeah.
Premier League title.
And And one more thing is that we keep planning on 5 years ahead. We never plan about this season and the next. It's always 5 years down the line. Let's sign players who are long term. What if they flop in 2 more years? What if they have a rough 2 more years? Why don't you just sign players that are good now, that we're guaranteed good performances week in week out from these players that can elevate us to become that next level team? We're just so fixated on this 5, 6 year plan rather than the now. It's always about the future rather than the present, and that's been the biggest issue with United. We've always focused on the future. We've never worried about the present. We've always lived up in the past. Always lived in the past, worrying about the future, never in the present. That's just my saying about this football club. But what else do you have to say about this?
I love that. I agree with that saying, but I would add one thing. Yeah, signing players for the future. You got to understand, following that rule, it doesn't work for champions. Champions are never the rules, they are the exceptions. period. And these exceptions, they have their primes at the most random points of their life. Mbappe, Yamal, look at these people. They're in their prime when they are teenagers. Messi, Ronaldo, define the age and still in their prime at the end of their career. The point is, quality, it doesn't die. You can grow
Yeah,
players, you can build players, but you don't sign for the future. You sign for the future and the present. That's what you do. But you first aim to win in the present because there is no future if you don't have a present with you. I think that's the point. And United fail to understand that you plan for 5 years ahead. Already, that's a defeatist mindset, as we talked about, right? You're throwing the white flag in for the first 5 years. But on top of that, if that manager doesn't work the way it is, who's to say 5, 6 years you were the best team by then? Who's to say City don't have not City, but somebody else has a City S takeover and they become the top team, right? And then if you have to sack that manager some point within the 5 to 6 years, then you're set back another 5 years. So I think this whole 5 to 6 years logic, I
bro.
understand it. It's very idealistic, but I would argue it's more idealistic than just aiming to win in season one.
Bro, Augustia, who's to say in 5 or 6 years' time that the players that that could be signed for another 5 or 6 years for the future will hit their prime or hit their peak, will be on the level we expect them to be. Who's to
Yes.
say that? You know what I mean? Because people always, like I said, people always worry about, oh, the next big thing, oh, the next Mbappe, the next Neymar, the next this and that. Nobody gives a shit. It's about what you have now, what you have to your what do you have to your weapons, what do you have to your to your treasure chest, and we don't have that because why? It's because we keep worrying about players and the managers and everything in the long term. It's always about long term pain rather than short term gain. Augustia, you'd rather short term gain than long term pain, would you?
Well,
As if it
yeah.
means instant
I,
success now, and worry, and the future will fix it again, because long-term gain is not going to happen with this football club. Let's just be real with you. We keep on making mistakes over and over again, the same mistakes that have costed this football club seasons of success, seasons of we've been robbed of seasons of history, man, because this football club is never going to get back to what it used to be, because all they keep on doing is just nicking the money up from the football club. They keep nicking every single penny from this football club. And why? It's because they're greedy. And what does greed do? Greed does not win you gold.
cold, very cold, and I agree with you. Again, why wouldn't you try for short-term success over long-term success? I mean,
Exactly.
winning is in
Long-term
the
success is
DNA of
not
this football.
guaranteed.
And
Short-term
and you
success is guaranteed.
and you know what? I'd even go one step further.
Go on.
If you try for short-term success and you fail, okay, it's bad, but at least you tried. If you
Yeah.
don't try, you're gonna fail anyways. So who's the
Because
real loser?
because Augusta, people are so worried about the next Sir Alex Ferguson. Why is there such thing as the next Sir Alex Ferguson? There's no the next Sir Alex Ferguson. People need to stop worrying about this long-term manager thing, because there's no more manager that'll be here for 26 years. The next manager in line to do that is Diego Simeone or someone at the Miami Heat, Eric Spoelstra, for example. It's
Yeah.
a rare occasion. You don't often see that. Arsene Wenger at Arsenal, you don't see these long-term managers no more. Why? It's because they get bored. They want a new challenge. These young managers are fresh and hungry. They want to go and win elsewhere. They're not managers who want to stay at a football club for a long time.
Also,
People
sorry,
thought
go on.
Amorim was the next guy in line. Ten Hag was the next guy in line. No, there will never be another Sir Alex Ferguson or a long-term manager like that ever again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think Ekevin has disconnected. Ekevin, you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
you're back. You just disconnected for a bit. You were talking about how no one will be the
Sorry,
Sir Alex
sorry,
Ferguson.
bro. Sorry about that, bro.
Yeah, all good. But
Didn't mean to cut you off.
no, no, no,
Go on,
no,
bro.
no. It's okay. I agree. No, no, you cut off. So I think what you were trying to say is no one will be the next Sir Alex Ferguson here. That was your point.
It'll be
Um,
a miracle if someone comes in and becomes Fergie from day
but
one, but I doubt it.
I would go one step further again. Um, why I don't, as you said, people are bored. They want new challenges. I don't think any top manager's goal is to become the next Sir Alex Ferguson. Everyone wants to become the first themselves. Every single great,
Hopefully.
Ekevin, every single
But that's what
greatest of
United
all
fans
time.
don't think, though. United fans don't think about that, though. They think about
You,
the next Fergie all the time, but
and look,
he lived in the past.
I love Sir Alex Ferguson. By the way, everyone knows how much I love Sir
Of
Alex
course,
Ferguson. He's like
of
a
course,
father
of
figure
course.
to all of us. But at the
True.
same time, um, again, if you're a winner, we have to build on that. The aim is not to replicate it, it's to build on it. Take the countless positive lessons that Sir Alex Ferguson left for us, but become better, right? That's the aim. That's the aim of a football club, right? Why are we trying to replace Sir Alex Ferguson? Why don't we become better than Sir Alex Ferguson? Why don't we become the best club in the
Agreed.
world? You know, and it's
Mm.
not criticizing him. In fact, that's what he would probably want as well. So it's just this constant desire to live in the past, this nostalgia of wanting that Sir Alex Ferguson past, wanting this top Reds mindset that is just, you know, helping the board kind of loot the money away from the club. It's distracting away from the real problems there. That's what I think here.
Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Apologize for the background noise, people. But and Augusta, you have any more to say, or anything else you want to add before, obviously, we do close out, or you have to go, or anything?
No, no, no. I'm good. I think we've said my points, and you've said your points. I think it's a very productive stream. I enjoyed it. Great,
I will
great
be doing
stream.
another emergency stream regarding United soon. I was actually planning on doing an emergency stream regarding Man United, actually, but then now Ruben Amorim's been sacked, things are going to get more interesting because the debate was supposed to be about Amorim, about the football club's hierarchy and everything. But now I think we have to go into further detail. So I will think about doing another show. Maybe tomorrow, guys. Maybe tomorrow. We'll be doing another United show. If you guys are free to tune in, let me know. If any United fan in the chat wants to hop on, I will. You're more than welcome. But obviously, it is gonna be it is gonna be this one time where we discuss the future of the football club and everything like that. And yeah, I don't know when that'll be. Maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight. I will think about it. But then tonight, I'm back for the Premier League show, and I'm back for the what's it called? Back for the NBA show. So people, I might I might sneak in a United show in between that if I can. I will let you guys know. It'll be a very last minute plan. Augusta, you're more than welcome to hop on if you like. And
Appreciate it.
anyone in the chat that wants to join, please let me know. I will schedule a United show sometime tonight. I know I did the Red Army Rand pod discussing the sacking of Amrim, that he could possibly get sacked after his comments, and tada, he got sacked. So listen, that's happened. We will discuss that in further detail. Augustia, thank you so much for coming on the show
Always.
today,
Thank you
and
for
appreciate you.
inviting.
No worries, man. Always, anytime. Big up. That's why they are long overdue to be kicked out. What time is it? I can join. I can talk. I will think about it. I'm not so sure tonight or tomorrow. I'll think about it because I do have two shows tonight. The Premier League show. I could move the Premier League show to tomorrow, to be fair with you, because the Premier League game week starts tomorrow. All the games start again tomorrow, I think. So I might be doing a Premier League show tomorrow, depending on obviously the timings and everything of that. But do stay tuned, people. I will make a last minute decision. I will message all of you guys, or I will put out in the community post. So check that out, people. It's been a good talk, Gustia. Bless United. Hopefully, the good days come back. Amarim officially out. Glazers out. Ineos out. Love. Take care, people. Bless.